executive session.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
I do have two cases for you this morning. The first one is case number 2022-0016. This is an application submitted for cremation expenses through Cornelson Funeral Home in an amount of $1,200. The application was submitted by the funeral home, and all of the information that we obtained was from the state's website. The deceased is a 47-year-old male who lived by himself, was not a veteran. With the information that we obtained, it does appear that the deceased does meet criteria for assistance through our program. Bannock County does appear to be the last resource for payment of these final expenses, and we were not able to locate a responsible party for reimbursement of this request.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve case number 2022-0016.
You have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
The next case we have is case number 2022-0008. A recommendation is a denial of this application pursuant to Idaho Code 31-3502-25. The applicant appears to be eligible for the COVID funding relief, which is to be considered a resource before the county, as outlined in Idaho Code 31-3502-25. Bannock County does not appear to be the last resource for this request.
Mr. Chairman, I move we deny case number 2022-0008.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye. Aye, passes unanimously.
Why don't these people?
We need to,
I don't think you
Oh,
need to make a
need to
decision.
do these.
So,
Just on the case numbers, yeah.
okay. Mr. Chair, on case number 980000332 and case number 20080008, I make a motion that we accept the settlement offer as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
So you're cutting it down to the 57? Okay. Sorry about that. My ears are a little
I know.
plugged up right now, and it's quite high pitched in this room right now. So,
A little tinnitus going on.
oh, it's horrible today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
Kyle.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Kyle Burmester, Bannock County Public Works. Here to bug you again on buying more stuff. We have a quote and our spec sheet on a dump truck with the dump bed. Kenworth has been having trouble with, they only got an allotted number. They hit that limit. What we figured out is we could still do the source well, and they have a couple slots for their vendors, which this Viking and Sives is they do all their dump beds for them. So it's going to be a little bit different this year. Usually we pay Kenworth and then they pay this Viking, where we're going to go through Viking and then they'll pay Kenworth, but we can still go off the same source well and got a slot that way. It's for the 214,115, and we were hoping for around 205. We still have a little bit extra from our water tank that we got, so we're lucking out there. I was expecting to be around the 250 area with this, but luckily we got in on this deal because of all the prices going up so much. But
Okay.
And where will you use this, Kyle?
in the road and bridge, it's gonna replace one of our 30-year-old trucks. We're getting down to where we're getting a pretty good fleet. I appreciate the help from the commission on helping us with our fleet. We've got another this one and one more that are 30 years old, and then we'll be kind of getting back to where we'll have a updated fleet that will only update so often to stay scheduled that way instead of having such an old fleet.
So, doing it the way we're doing it, are you piggybacking off somebody or what?
This is just a source well. So source well, they have a set price that any of these dealers can go off of. And so if you go through Sourcewell, you also get that, like a government discount on there. And so this is just,
It's like a state bid procurement package, so like the state honors it counts as like going out to RFP.
it's just a system that they made to make things a little easier than all the different organizations going out trying to bid on some of the same stuff. So like this one in particular, Bingham County is on the same Sourcewell, doing the same thing we are. So this is just what it's gonna, for today, the approval to get this ordered and coming our way so we can try to get it this year.
Will this end up being a lease, or we just,
Purchase.
it will be a purchase?
You'll run asphalt in the summer and
Snowplow.
Snowplow.
This will be one with a plow and a sander. We'll take off the old one.
Why don't we lease something like this?
We looked into it a little bit, but what we're getting out of them before we start, well, we don't want to go 30 years, but if we can go 15 or 20, we still get a little better deal of just purchasing them and selling them out that way because of the miles and stuff we put on them. It's worked better. We could look into it again and see, but we haven't leased any of our trucks so far.
well, if you're gonna run them that long, it usually.
How many miles do you have on that one that's got 30 years?
I don't know for sure.
Here's a better question: how many engines do you have in there? How
Well,
many times has that motor been rebuilt?
It's been a lot better. Like I say, we went for about 10 years of not updating a lot of our equipment, and so now in the past 4 or so years we've updated all our graders, and loaders are getting updated, and our trucks are slowly coming out of that 30-year-old thing, and so it's saving us the time and money in the shop, and that downtime when you're paving and things like that is bad. So
That's why I was wondering if this would be better looking at as a lease instead of purchasing it, running through all that maintenance and stuff for the 15 years, 20 years.
yeah, I don't know.
You can get a motor out of that in 15 years before you're rebuilding them, aren't you? When you're rebuilding those 300,000.
Well, that's what we're looking at, is even like the excavator, we're leasing it, but that'll be something that I'll probably visit with Christy and stuff about. There's a few pieces that with the amount of hours we put on them and stuff that it's better just to purchase them.
Probably the amount of hours, especially if you're running asphalt and snow, that, most of those dump trucks they're only up for the construction season. So, I mean, if you're in California or somewhere where your construction season's year-round, it's probably a little bit different in your area. You'd probably have a higher mileage on a turn-in in our area then, because most companies, Babco or any of the big paving, Huntsakers, all those guys, they're just going to pave and then their trucks sit for the rest of the year. They might haul a little gravel during the, they might fire them up and do something, but they're not going to run them like.
Well,
It'd be
I'd
worth
ask you
looking
to,
into again to see.
I'd ask you to do that. I mean, we've already approved this one in the budget, and so.
Yeah, I
We'll move
for
forward with
this year and trying to find a truck, but
What is,
In
I
your
feel
packet, though, for next year for your budget, I think that'd be a good comparison.
yeah.
what's the
Can we not buy it or start the process and then move it in, transition it to a lease before we take possession?
We've got the money, why don't we just buy it this year and then move on next year?
well, my question is right now, right now what's happening,
It's one less lease that I'm gonna have to account for differently next year,
the big thing that,
without another body.
the big thing is a lot of companies right now, because there's such a scarcity in things, they're not leasing a lot of things right now. They're just going to sales only because it's, they get their money up front.
Well, and depending on the term of the lease, I mean, if we had to do a 5-year lease, kind of makes sense if you're doing things in flipping vehicles, but if we're gonna end up doing like a 15-year lease,
Why would we do a 15-year lease?
well, I don't know what,
I think keep
that
it
was
5
just the
and
number
flip
that
it, but
Kyle.
Yeah, we'd have
So
to
I
look
didn't
into
know.
that, where we'd be at for the stuff that we have to mount on it. So like the sander takes, with a lease, where that would set us, for them wanting to do this 5-year and put all this added stuff on it.
well, that would be my question though, I don't know where I was at, I saw something that was talking about, leasing heavy equipment is becoming kind of difficult right now because the scarce, there's gold mining, that's what they're talking about. All the big equipment that like Cat and those guys are making, they don't have it to lease, and so they've just been, whoever shows up with cash money in their hand, that's who gets the equipment first. And so that's been,
Some of our equipment like this, I mean, we use forever and it lasts. You get like the equipment up at the landfill that we're wanting to flip and not keep. Leasing makes sense because,
we destroy it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You beat it up, you turn it back, you beat it up, you turn it back. These things last so long that to buy it, we're gonna definitely get our money's worth
Okay. I was
with a purchase.
I'm just curious, I'm okay. Like I said, it's in the budget. I just
No,
was
and it's-
curious
No,
why
I
why
think we need
weren't
to look
leasing
at it though next year.
Like you say, I think it'd be a good one to look at.
Is this a vehicle though that we have found and identified though? This is a vehicle that they're holding on to right now for us. That's what I was
Right
asking.
now,
is,
for
this is
a short
this is
time,
this
yes.
is okay. Yeah, we probably want to buy it then as fast as we can.
Motion?
Mr. Chair, I will make the motion that we approve the purchase as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimous. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cal.
We can't have you here and not grill you a little bit.
Yeah, we just
Hey, that works. We don't get to see each other.
We haven't even turned you over to Brian yet.
I know, as long as you didn't head to this table.
I mean, you've seen all the lawyers that we got sitting right here, like,
That's for Mike later. Thank you.
Actually,
Thank
for
you.
them, they're on the docket now.
Oh.
Okay, Alan.
So we have one of the Idaho opioid settlements that we're just asking guidance on how to proceed forward. What we need to do is we need to register the county in order to be able to receive the documentation, and then from there the county can opt in or opt out. This is a $120 million lawsuit, up to $120 million, depending on what agencies end up participating. Our percentage would be about 3.059%, so not the whole, but that's, if my math's right, about 367,000 that we could potentially, that's the top amount that we could potentially
So we
get.
can buy a new dump truck.
yeah, there you go.
I think we'll have to use it for
Opioid.
opioid things, but.
We can buy an ambulance to transport the opioid.
There you go.
There you go, I'm just saying.
Now we're talking.
So, just for my own clarification, when we first started this, we filed on our own.
Yeah, there was.
We had an outfit. We was one of the first counties in the state to
that
file.
signed on with one of them.
So where are we at
With the
between?
settlement, we just need permission from the commission to register to get the documents to officially opt into it. And that's all we're asking for today, is just
Okay.
have a.
I thought we was already opted in. I thought we was one of the originals
This-
that did.
Well,
There's-
we haven't accepted the settlement.
Right.
is
That's what we're.
That's what
Okay.
it was on.
So, but we do need to get it done. If we're going to do it, we need to do it as soon as possible so we can get the process done. There's a deadline of January 2nd
Yeah.
to get everything taken care of, but with the notices and all that stuff, as soon as possible would be the best thing. But we need to figure out who the county wants to have as the person that's going to be receiving this documentation. And then we can,
You know what happens when you present?
well, I kind of assumed, but didn't want to presume too much. But yeah, we get it processed
Did you just do
today,
that?
the registration, and then go forward if that's okay with the county. So,
Yeah. I mean, who's, have you been the one that's been kind of point on this in your guys' office? I mean, who's been,
Yeah, I've
think
had Alan to
Brian's-
point on this.
yeah.
I mean, I would have no problem, Alan, with you then just running point and making sure everything's taken care of. You guys,
No problem either.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to authorize agreements for the opioid settlements as presented.
You have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
We'll be back in front of you soon. More stuff.
Can't wait to see.
You know what the lawyer fees are gonna be on that? They're gonna say you're gonna get $325,000. By the time it's done, there's gonna be about $50 left.
well, this is the one that every
Yeah.
meeting we've gone to with the Attorney General's had somebody there speaking about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the emails we've gotten from
Yeah.
multiple people.
Okay. Is that it?
Thanks.
That's it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alan.
Mike?
Morning, Commissioners. Thank you. Mike Jaglowski, Bannock County Engineer. I have before you the IPDES, formerly known as the NPDES Stormwater Permit. As you recall, last year the stormwater permit was, we went through our first year and we had our annual review and annual report. This is year number 2. Year number 2, what it does is take a look at the last year and determine what we have accomplished and as a group and individually as one of the 5 communities through this last year. I would ask for your review, approval, and certifying signature. That is done electronically. Afterwards, Christy and I are going to get everything signed up and ready to go for Commissioner Moser or whoever you so appoint to be the certifying official to sign the annual review.
22 pages of fun.
Yeah.
And fun it was.
So, Mike, are you going out and looking at construction sites? This is kind of what this is about, right?
Yes,
Checking on stormwater runoff on construction sites, subdivisions, things of that nature?
we are. I say we because Road and Bridge is also a part of that as well. And on construction sites, construction is the subdivision sites.
Right.
Through this year, we've had like 6 different subdivisions go under construction. We have 3 of them right now that are within construction.
So they have to have their stormwater remediation plan posted. They gotta have their silt fences up.
They have their NOI.
Mhm.
Well, I should say they go through the construction general permit. And in that permit, there's an NOI. There is a stormwater pollution protection plan or SWIP. And then within that SWIP, describes how the site is going to be protected from stormwater runoff off the construction sites. And it also directs if those improvements or those controls are not installed or are not working, whether it's because of installation or the choice of different controls, then it recommends different controls that could be in place. It also this permit also looks at it post-construction. And that's one of the things that,
Approaches on roads, gravel, stuff like that.
well, approaches on roads, gravels, check dams, retention, detention basins, and things like that to keep the stormwater and different things, mostly stormwater on site instead of discharging into rivers, lakes, and streams or waters of the United States.
Cool. Well,
Thank you for your work.
yeah,
We know that it,
Well, we're still working towards it.
when we're filing this, are we still involved in the group or are we now individually filing?
We are one of 5 people in
Okay.
the,
I couldn't
we're
remember.
one of 5 co-permittees. City of Pocatello, because they have the largest landmass within the Portneuf Valley urbanized area. They are the one that chairs that, and they lead the group. City of Chubbuck is in that, Bannock County, ITD, and ISU are the 5 permittees.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the annual Idaho Pollution Discharge Elimination System permit as presented and authorize the chairman's signature electronically when available.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Mark. I got your message the other day, and I had a little reaction to a vaccine, so I was a little under the weather.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're under the weather. It's good to see a vertical.
Well, kind of. Thanks, Mike.
All right, next we have resolutions. Resolution number 2021-105, financial certification of 2021 levies. Resolution number 2021-106, authorization to enact the Idaho Enhancement Emergency Communication Grant Fee. Resolution number 2021-107, approving debt cancellation for the RV park. Resolution 2021-108, designating county road for state reimbursement.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the resolutions as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
I could get my page to go down, and then it went down. I thought it was skipping a page. I thought there was more resolutions. I was like, where did that go? You know, you're like, what the front door? Oh, it is.
We need to switch out 106. We just added 2 words upon notification to the resolution for the 911 emergency fee when it will be collected.
It's right there.
This is it.
That's it? Okay.
Oh, he's just him.
Yep, there you go. Start over.
Start over, sorry.
What 2 words did you change?
On the second page where it says when the emergency communications grant fee shall be collected, we put upon notification pursuant to the code section.
Otherwise, it would be effective today.
So we
And-
just added those 2 words.
Okay. Yeah. We should, Mr. Chairman, I request that that one be annotated for the record that there was a change and have the 2.
That's in resolution 2021-106.
Closer down.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 We really should.
All right, next we have our signature only contract addendum for Securus. And then October 2021 Commissioners Proceedings.
Mr. Chairman, I would authorize signature on the agreements as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes
On the
unanimously.
agreement to the proceedings. It's on my calendar. Why do we have a signature-only section and a consent agenda section? Because even though it's a signature-only, there still has to be some kind of discussion on the matter. So you can't have a signature-only section on your agenda.
For the secret signing.
Yes. It would need to be
Right.
annotated, or, it need to be annotated of what it is and what's going on. You just can't have a signature. It would be just a point of business.
All right, next we'll go to the consent agenda, which,
Now, the proceedings could be.
There's a commissioner's
signature only,
report.
because that's a,
do you have any comments on that one?
There was just a couple invoices still from last year that were turned in for maintenance, one from July and one from August. Not sure why we had a few stragglers, but sometimes it happens. They weren't significant enough that would impact the budget, so.
Okay.
26 and $35. But
And then we have invoices. Where they did this one. Stapled together. They're all different invoices.
different vendors.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to make sure those are unstable before we get them. She should catch that, but.
Well, some of them are, a lot of them are partners still, but there's some others in between them. Pass and all.
Is that for veterans?
No, this is Wes.
Yep.
And he may have stapled them and when he brought, I don't know.
So that they didn't get lost. I was trying to give you a good rational reason, but.
And then we have our employee recognition checks, huh? We gotta have a party to divvy these out, so.
Let me know what you decide to do for that, so that I can make a note as to why we don't print them, please.
Oh, and this one, the Lava Senior Center. How come we're not on our recurring?
We took the senior centers off after the Downing
Okay.
issue. The board decided that we wanted them to submit payments so that we didn't have that happen again.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. It was when we had paid Downey and the Downey Senior Center, so. And usually we make those changes at the beginning of the year, not mid-year. So, I think I saw an agenda item to discuss possibly putting that on recurring.
NACO, attention Steve Brown.
Yeah, look, what I said.
Is there a remit stub on that?
Yeah,
Okay, let's line Steve's name off.
it's highlighted. Please change to commission.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sure he did it.
Oops.
And then we have minutes for November 16th and November 18th. And then we have a certificate of residency approval also.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. With that being said, we are adjourned and will not have another meeting till after the holidays. So happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you for all that you do.